issue were clear. All right, so this is what she said right here. There's always room for growth and improvement in officiating. I do find it interesting when you sit in the chair I sit in that no winning team ever complains about officiating. No losing team ever doesn't complain about officiating. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. If I'm winning off of the bad officiating, why?
The WNBA's officiating crisis has hit a boiling point. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is now under fire after addressing rising backlash over the league's inconsistent and, frankly, alarming referee performance following the Indiana Fever's heated matchup against Paige Buchers and the Dallas Wings. The conversation around officiating reached a new peak. Engelbert's response, controversial at best, dismissive at worst. Players, coaches, analysts, and fans alike are calling out what they see as a leadership failure to take legitimate concerns about referee competency and game management seriously.
She wants them to be old WNBA. And she wants the team to be what she had success with in Connecticut. She doesn't want this team playing fast. She wants them playing slow. Because let's take a listen to what she said about DeWanna Bonner.
And I'm talking about being happy personally. Like, I want her to be happy personally. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. It's a different group. While system might still be very similar, it's a different group. And
this isn't new. The officiating mess has been building for years, especially when it comes to how star players like Caitlin Clark are officiated. Aggressive contact against her is often ignored, raising concerns about injury risks and overall fairness. And let's talk money. When the refs reportedly earn around $100,000 a year, which is pennies compared to their NBA counterparts. That pay gap might be one of the key reasons the officiating talent pool is so thin. In recent games, the refs have made baffling decisions, one more glaring than in Indiana versus Dallas, where multiple calls seemed blatantly biased. Online, fans are calling out special whistles for certain players, and that growing distrust is poisoning the league's credibility.
Why would I say something about it? Why would I say something about it, man? I think the Indiana Fever has the worst whistle. All right, they have the worst whistle, fam. The worst. Even with the win last night, I blatantly saw them giving and ones after and ones after and ones after and ones, man. Now, shout out to them for finishing the play, like I said in my video.
Zoom in on the money trail, and it's hard not to raise an eyebrow. WNBA officials earn significantly less than referees in other pro sports. That pay disparity limits the league's ability to attract top-tier talent, and now, as the league's profile grows, the refs simply aren't keeping pace. Engelbert's recent remarks about the challenge of officiating due to athletic movement in small spaces came off as tone-deaf, saying there's always room for improvement isn't enough. Fans want accountability, not vague platitudes.
Things are happening quickly, and
I cannot believe, I mean this when I say this, I cannot believe the Indiana Fever had what was the best offense in the WNBA post-Olympic break and hired the coach with the worst offense in the WNBA to bring the worst offensive system to the best offensive team. What are we doing? Again, you can't...
Then came Engelbert's most tone-deaf take yet. She claimed winning teams don't complain about officiating, while losing teams do. That oversimplified stance was immediately dragged. Why? Because it's not even true. Top-tier teams like the Minnesota Lynxies, winners, have repeatedly called out bad officiating. Coach Cheryl Reeve has been vocal about referee inconsistency, win or lose, so no. Complaints don't just come from sore losers, they come from people who care about the integrity of the game.
Last night, I always give players props for finishing and trying to go for the basket and not trying to win an Oscar. I give them props every time. But fam, I'm talking about phantom foul after phantom foul. It was ghost fouls, man. Ghost fouls left and right, and it was clear to see that they were just calling fouls because players were falling. Paige Buchers had so many ghost fouls, man. It was ridiculous. I'm like, dog.
Let's break down some actual games. The Fever's win over Chicago, still flooded with officiating backlash, especially after Kennedy Carter's cheap shot on Caitlin Clark. Same with Indiana's win over Connecticut, which featured multiple no calls that left fans fuming. Physicality has now become the league's hottest topic, with analysts calling out the refs' failure to differentiate between fair, hard play and outright dangerous contact, especially for guards operating off the ball. Right now, the calls seem random, inconsistent, and sometimes just plain wrong.
An old dog, new tricks. Stephanie White is what she is. Amber Cox and Kelly Krauskopf, you frauds. You absolute frauds. You have scammed the fan base. You have not only scammed the fan base, you have potentially... You can't fire her either now. You can't fire her without Caitlin Clark getting the reputation as a coach killer. You cannot fire her without Caitlin Clark getting the reputation as a coach killer. You can't.
Even international voices are chimming in and they're not impressed. Overseas basketball communities are calling Engelbert an embarrassment, claiming her mishandling of this crisis could tarnish the WNBA's global reputation. Christine Brennan's upcoming publication reportedly dives into Engelbert's leadership failures, particularly around player safety and operational missteps. Her core argument: the WNBA is blowing its shot at commercial growth by ignoring its most basic responsibilities, like protecting players and ensuring fair officiating.
How many times are y'all going to call foul on a no foul? And what's embarrassing for them is that after the play happens, you get an instant replay on what they call the foul. So the chat and I, we're sitting there, we're just like, dog, nobody even touched her. Nobody touched her, dog. So how is that a foul? How is that a foul, man? Oh my goodness. It was terrible. It was terrible, man. I know they're human.
Dig deeper into the referee pay scale and the problem becomes even clearer. Some reports show that WNBA refs earn as little as $500 per game. Let that sink in. That's nowhere near enough to attract or retain elite talent. Many officials likely work second jobs, splitting focus and passion. And it shows game flow is getting wrecked by inconsistent calls that disrupt rhythm, entertainment value, and momentum. Too many referees seem unable to read the moment and distinguish between when to let them play and when to blow the whistle.
So we're now stuck with vomit basketball for multiple years, and we're going to see increasingly declining WNBA ratings. You have... I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. I absolutely cannot believe this. It is nuts. It is absolutely nuts.
Now we're seeing teams game the system. Coaching staffs are reportedly designing plays that exploit predictable officiating gaps, knowing certain aggressive moves will slide under the radar. That's not strategy, that's manipulating broken mechanics. And it creates a dangerous imbalance. The focus shifts from basketball skill to who can push the officiating envelope the furthest. Worst of all, player safety is now on the line. Caitlin Clark's recent injury situation is Exhibit A. Observers believe the ref's unwillingness to call repeated contact helped push her toward injury. We're watching stars get targeted, while minor fouls and less intense moments are suddenly whistled. It's chaos.
And they're not going to be perfect, but man, the consistency is terrible. Some of them don't even know the rules, man. I remember there was a moment where it was a jump ball and Alyssa Thomas had to tell the ref which way she's supposed to be facing. I'm like, dog, y'all don't even know that part. Fam, it's bad, man. It's bad. I remember Monique, she was just celebrating, making a shot. I think she made an and one. She got up and she did yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She hit the stanchion, right?
This inconsistency isn't theoretical, it's happening in real time. Just look at Paige Bucher's recent injury after a hard shot from Courtney Vandersloot. It appeared to be clear head contact resulting in a concussion and games missed. No ejection, no accountability, landing zone violations, another disaster zone. Multiple players, like Gabby Williams, have been fouled during their landing without any penalty assessed. These aren't just missed calls, they're missed protections. And when refs can't uphold basic safety protocols, they're not just failing, they're endangering careers.
And by the way, snake oil saleswoman here, because she said all the right things when she got hired for the job. Absolute snake oil saleswoman. That's the only thing I can say. Snake oil saleswoman. She joined a team with Caitlin Clark and said, that had success and said, you know what? We want Caitlin. We don't want you to be we don't want you to be you. We want you to play this slow down motion offense.
At this point, the message coming from the league feels loud and clear even if no one's saying it out loud. Star players are expected to just take the hits, smile through the bruises, and keep the ratings up. Meanwhile, referees coast by, with no accountability, and leadership shrugs it off like it's just part of the game. But here's the truth, it's not just bad officiating, it's a systemic failure. One that's slowly eating away at player trust, fan confidence, and the league's credibility. If the WNBA truly wants to evolve into a world-class product, it can't keep playing like an amateur operation when it comes to protection and professionalism. Because eventually, the stars will stop shining if they're constantly getting knocked down, and the fans, they'll walk away too.
To go, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They gave her a tech for that. They gave her a tech for that, y'all. I'm like, man, can the players express themselves? My goodness, man. Y'all want robots out there. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. Even when they win, I still talk about how bad the officiating is for the Indiana Fever. Now, yeah.
Period. That was the goal, right? Yeah, exactly. And yet they gave her a tech for that. A technical foul, for celebrating, for showing emotion, for being human, and you're left thinking, really, are players supposed to be emotionless robots now? It's just embarrassing. Even when Indiana wins, the officiating is still so bad that it overshadows the victory. And that's not just a game day issue, it's a content creation crisis. Creators are struggling to keep things fresh when all anyone wants to talk about is bad refs. It's repetitive, it's draining, and it makes it harder to spotlight the good, the incredible plays, the rising stars, the moments that could pull in new fans. Casual viewers, the kind the league desperately needs, are tuning in and getting hit with confusing whistles and inconsistent calls. That kind of chaos doesn't build fan bases, it builds frustration. And without clear, consistent officiating, the WNBA is setting up new audiences to walk away before they ever get hooked.
Like, literally, fire her now. Like, fire her now. And just like I said at one stage, Christy Sides was great because Christy Sides, they didn't respect Christy Sides. They didn't listen to her. This team would be better with no coach than with Stephanie White. This team would be better with no coach because let's be real. Even with Austin Kelly there and his inability to call timeouts, they still played Stephanie White's system. They would be better with no coach than with Stephanie White.
And it's not just fans or content creators feeling the pressure. The bigger picture, it's corporate. Sponsors, media partners, broadcasters, they're all watching, and they want reliability. They want a professional, polished product that justifies their investment, but when every game turns into a referee circus, that confidence starts to crack. The WNBA is in the middle of a breakout moment. Ratings are up, headlines are hot. The arrival of a generational icon like Caitlin Clark has cracked open doors. The league's been knocking on for decades. This is the time to level up, not slip backward. But if the officiating mess isn't cleaned up fast, the league risks fumbling its biggest opportunity yet. Because no matter how bright the talent shines, no brand wants to invest in a league where chaos is part of the standard package.